Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again towards Parashat Ki Tavo, and we're coming towards the end of the Torah, and we have Moshe telling us beautiful 14 psukim of beautiful blessings in wealth and in health and in agriculture and in safety and in everything you could think of, in any type of prosperity that you could think of. And he gives us beautiful blessings as far as our children are concerned, as far as our security is concerned. But there's one condition. What's the one condition? V'halachta bidrachav. We have to go in his ways. What does that really mean? So it is brought down as a mitzvah. So we have our great leaders from 1,000 years ago who already explained the mitzvahs. And the Rambam was the first to do so. And he writes, V'halachta bidrachav means we have to emulate his virtues. He's kind, we have to be kind. He is sensitive, we have to be sensitive. He has patience, we have to be patient. We have to emulate his virtues. However, the Smag, Sefer Mitzvot Gadol, written just after the Rambam by Rav Moshe Mikutzi in France, just a few years after the Rambam, and there he writes something quite different. And he writes that we have to emulate his deeds. HaKadosh Baruch Hu visits the sick, we have to visit the sick. HaKadosh Baruch Hu buries the dead, we have to bury the dead. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives tzedakah, we have to give tzedakah. It is not to do with the virtues, it's got to do with the good deeds. So we find in the Talmud that actually there are two different sources that take in each direction. That the Rambam has a source in the Talmud, in Shabbat, Kuf Lamed Gimel, to base his idea that it has to be following these virtues, and he writes this in Hilchot Deot, in his book Mishneh Torah. However, the Smag, Rav Moshe Mikutzi, is based on the Gemara in Sota, Daf Yud Aleph, that says we cannot. How can we follow Hashem? Hashem is fire, so we have to emulate his deeds, and those deeds are, as we said, burying the dead, visiting the sick, taking care of the poor. So we have two different ways of understanding what it means to go in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's ways. And then 50 years later comes Sefer HaYureim, Rabbi Eliezer ben Shmuel from Metz, also in France, who says, 1 second, these are two sides of the same coin. We have to emulate his virtues, that is true, but we have to also emulate his deeds. If we only emulate the virtues, and we're kind people, and we're considerate, etc., but it doesn't translate into actions, or we have good actions, we actually do visit the sick, and we do give tzedakah, but internally our virtues are still corrupt, this is no good. We have to have this as two sides of the same coin. If we manage to emulate Hashem, also internally by making sure our virtues are positive virtues, and we're continuing in Hashem's ways internally and also externally. It has an external expression through our deeds. Then we have a halachta b'drachav, and we should be getting these fantastic, beautiful blessings coming our way. This is the way we teach in all our yeshivot and ulpanot Bnei Akiva. We try our very best for the young men and women to teach them how to change their midot tovot, how they should have positive virtues, but not keep it all inside. Also to express them by good deeds of kindness and visiting the sick and burying the dead, and all these positive deeds. These are two sides of the same coin. If we keep that in mind, we shall receive all these beautiful, beautiful promises.